Oh, sorry, I wasn't going.
Oh!
Oh, wait, okay, fine. Wait, cheers.
Cheers.
We could just use that. All right, take a drink.
I thought you
sorry.
said go.
I did.
Ready.
I was looking off on business. All right. Welcome to this episode of Red Wine Talks. It is Damon and
Nasir.
Unlike other Red Wine Talks, which just happen to be my friends, we actually started off because you tweeted the Damon and Joe Shut Up and Go brand to pitch an idea to basically be our employee, which I think is freaking cool.
Hello everyone, I'm Nasir. I'm the content manager over here at Shut Up and Go. Basically, I'm the person who works with Damon and Joe to make sure that y'all are getting that good. So basically, just controlling the calm time.
So we not only, I mean, of course, then it's been like 2-3 years that he worked for the brand, and then I just feel like this happens with everybody that you spend a lot of time with. You just become friends, you know? So now I feel like I always felt like we were just friends that work together.
Yes, it helps that you're pretty cool, so love that.
But we are here in New York. You just moved here. Where are you from?
So I'm from Connecticut, maybe about an hour and a half away. It's cute, a little train ride. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I live up to the stereotype of gays not driving, so I always have to take that train. I'm never driving down here.
Do you have your license?
No.
You don't have your license? Come on!
I know. 24,
oh my God.
24 and no license.
What do you do when you, again, he's a big traveler. He's been all over the world. You've been to Montreal. We went to a Nicki Minaj concert in Paris.
Oh
do you remember that?
Yes. Wait, Juice WRLD, R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh
Nicki Minaj's new album, though.
Ooh, yes.
Beam Me Up, Scotty.
Yes, we love a re-release. Yes.
Yeah, I guess it's not a new album. It's her old mix. Anyways, okay, I could go on and on about Nicki.
Love some Nicki.
But have you ever ran into the issue when you need to rent a car in a foreign country?
Not particularly. Usually, for the most part, just...
Where do you live?
Alarm. I've been doing this a lot. Wait. They're doing a lot right now. But no, for the most part, you just, hop into Uber. You go to the bus station and you're like, what time's the next bus coming? And they're like, in 6 hours. And you're like, okay, I'll wait it out. You kind of just make it work.
Yes. Okay, so we met because you sent a tweet in 2017, 2018, something like this.
Yeah, 2017.
You sent a tweet to Shut Up and Go, Damon and Joe, one of them. And you're like, yo, I love what you're doing, but what about everybody else? Everyone else's voices? And we were always down. We just didn't know where the people were. We didn't know who. We just didn't have the bandwidth to handle it. Brought him on board. So I want to talk about this because I think a lot of people don't shoot their shot. And you did. You're like, here's an idea. Okay, I'm going to just tweet them.
Yes.
And it worked out, and then you had a job for 3 years.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And, it was really crazy because before I tweeted you guys, I literally wrote up a quick travel article because I was to myself, I'm going to tweet at them, they're going to respond, and I need to have something prepared. And I did. And I followed through with this plan in my mind, and the universe made it work, and it happened.
Yeah, I love that. If you want my real opinion, I think a lot of people get in their own way for what they want to do in life, and it's easy. I understand. It's super easy to do that. Who's going to read my stuff? Who's going to read my email? So I love that you did that. And I feel like that's been a theme, too. You're okay, let me go see what's up in Mexico City. I was going to say Montreal because you've been talking about it.
Stop, and I'm trying to live there. Any Canadians on the channel? Any Canadians watching? Preferably Quebecois people. Hit me up if you're trying to get married because I'm trying to move.
What about Quebec, Montreal, for you?
Honestly, I feel like I love this because we always have this conversation because I know you love Paris. I'm going to give that to you, baby. I'm going to let you have it. And I know you love France. But I do love that, Quebec in general is just the culture of France with the hospitality of the States.
So 100% agree.
Yes, it's a beautiful mix. So I like that. I like being comfortable. And I like the warmth of the people.
I was like, the warmth? Canada? What? Where?
Wait, I took that in another direction.
The warmth of the people.
Oh,
what?
Because you said the warmth, and I thought you thought I was talking about the warmth of actual human beings.
Yeah,
never mind.
but yeah, I totally see you living there. This makes sense for you.
One day. If I die, Well, I hope I don't die, but if I do, I don't know. I'm like, ah!
Even while you were an employee at Shut Up and Go, it's like I feel like I'm such I have an employee mindset. Like, all right, look, this isn't gonna be like your lifetime job. Like, I understand this. Like, and so I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's just like, even as a boss, which, by the way, I never like being a boss. Even having you on the team, Jojo on the team, Rada on the team, like, we built a team to run Shut Up and Go. I realized, like, I don't like to manage people. I don't like to be the boss, because your job then becomes not what you want it to be. It becomes, let me make sure they're all doing their work.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about, like, Shut Up and Go experience? I don't know if you have anything to say. Like, what you hate? He's like, all right, here's number one.
Spill the tea, spill the wine. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's so true, because literally, like, you being such a creative person, like, once you step into a managerial role or you create a team, you have to sort of step away from the creative, because you're overseeing everything. So
Yes.
that's such a good point. And
this is gonna happen, by the way. We're in New York. By the way, my microphone no longer works, so hopefully you can hear this.
Yeah.
But this is what New York is, and
it is. Yeah. Last night at 11 o'clock, my neighbors were going hard, and you know what? I got up and I twerked with them.
There you go.
Not literally outside with them, but in the room. Also, is there a limit for how many cups we're having, or we drink and drinking?
we drink and drink. Okay. No, I was telling this here before this that it was funny, because the first, like, season, the first few episodes I filmed, it was like, all right, I bring one bottle. Second season, like, all right, I bring a bottle and a half. Third season, like, all right, here's 2 bottles and we got kombucha around the corner. Like,
yeah. But no, yeah, for Shut Up and Go, like, I don't know, it was one of those, like, it was the perfect first job out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it was great, because honestly, startups are just in general are super fun, and especially if you're a creative person, or if you're someone who really enjoys, like, learning a bit of everything. Startups are great. But yeah, like, so looking back at my Shut Up and Go experience, it was fun, because not only, like, did I have the opportunity to learn how to manage a team of writers, because literally, like, we started, or of course Damon and Joe were writing, and then we started, and then we had up to maybe 20 contributors.
Yeah. And you handled all that, by the way.
Yeah, so it was like 20 frequent contributors, and then we would also have submissions from people from all around the world. So we did that. A lot of it was social media. I'm still not a good graphic designer, but I did learn a lot from Damon.
I've never studied it either. Who knows if I'm good.
Right. So, but yeah, overall, like, the best thing about Shut Up and Go was that the company could become whatever we needed it to become.
Yeah.
And that's what I really loved about you guys' like management style, because it was more so, like you said, like, hey, I know this is not forever, but while you're here, do make the most out of it, and like, we want to learn from you and we want you to learn from us, and it was a mutual exchange, which was awesome.
Yeah, and exactly. And back to the whole like boss employee thing, I've never liked that. I've never been one to like, my goal in life is not to climb the career ladder and be the boss to then control everybody else who has to climb the ladder to do the same thing. I don't like that method.
Weird.
It's weird, you know? It's like a power dynamic.
Yeah,
and I don't like that.
Go to therapy, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. So, and I think it's in the Scandinavian cultures where even when you've been at a company for so long, like there is no hierarchy. Again, I don't know. Can you guys comment below? Like, in a lot of Scandinavian countries, I think everyone's kind of equal.
That's the best thing, because like oftentimes, you know, like now I work at a corporate job and it's cute, I like it, the money's fun, it's cute, but you can oftentimes tell, like, after a while, because people who are in this corporate mindset, they're like, well, I had to work so hard and I had to do this to get here. And I feel like with like a lot of the younger millennials and like the Gen Z people, we're very much like, okay, and like, just because you had to do that, that doesn't mean that that's the way we have to proceed for the next few generations. So I really like this idea, especially you and Joe and like all of these other, I don't want to say younger startups, so innovative startups have a different way of management and teamwork.
Well worded. You see why he was the marketing coordinator? Like, he did it all. Okay, Nasir. Again, I love like gassing my friends up.
Thank you.
Okay, you've written for like HuffPost. You go on your Instagram and you're like, I wrote for this person, this person, this person. Like, you are somebody who has made things, you've been proactive. basically.
Thank you.
What can you say for people who might want to, I don't know, be writers or be influencers who just want to do stuff but don't know where to go, and there's a plane overhead, so you might have to scream?
No, yeah, for sure. Honestly, I'm like, no, let me not jump off the roof. Jump off the roof, why not? But no, for real, like, it's so wild that you brought that up because, you know, like, before Shut Up and Go, I was writing for HuffPost and then Shut Up and Go and then these other publications, and still to this day, I don't. Just yesterday or a few days ago did I change my bio, like, or whatever, to, like, writer, because I don't know, like, in my mind, I don't know if it's something that I thought, like, oh, this is pretentious, or if it's more so something like, well, I'm not like the other writers who have all this experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, as, like, I'm getting older, I'm realizing, as I'm going to my stage of decay,
I know where you're going with this, though. It's like, oh, wait, I put in years, and actually, wait, I can consider myself this.
Exactly. So, like, putting in the years, just having the experience, but also, on top of that, realizing that, and this is no shade to anybody out there, I swear, like, if you're doing, and I love that for you, good for you, but you kind of realize that a lot of people are mediocre. And once you realize that, and I know this sounds harsh, but for me at least, like, once I realized that, I was like, you know what? Even if I am also mediocre, as long as I put shit out, as long as I'm, like, pitching to different magazines or whatever, like, I'm still gonna get stuff done. So it's
You're doing something about the mediocrity that all of us are, actually, at the end of the day.
Literally.
Yeah, I think there's no secret formula, magic sauce. This is why, like, actually, I've never been somebody who ever gets starstruck by anybody, because I don't know, there's something about... It's like we all are just the same people at the end of the day. We go to work, we get tired.
Exactly.
We wake up, we do it again. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, there's even having some sort of following on YouTube, you're just like, it's really cool if people recognize you or whatever, but you're just like, I'm literally just like you. Like, yeah I just put on the internet, but
no, for sure.
We're all down.
Yeah, and, like, even to go off of that point, when you realize that most of, like, the celebrities that we love or, like, the massive influencers that we love, they all have teams. Mm-hmm. So we're over here in our bedroom in our suburban town crying over how we're not this or we're not that, not realizing that this, you know, person or this TV show or whatever had 10 people working on it. And, you know, that's not a bad thing, but it's just something that you realize over time. So, like, my biggest thing is that I don't want, especially younger people, but anyone, but mainly, like, the younger people coming out of high school, coming out of college, to think that, like, am I going hard?
No, I was like, what are you going? Tell me that you didn't feel... Okay, keep going.
Just to... You know, I just really don't want people to think that they can't achieve something just because that they're seeing the finished product. And literally, Damon's been in the game, I don't know, 9 years?
All right, okay, I know my eyes are starting to wrinkle, okay?
No. But, like, y'all have really been making videos for, like, 8, 9 years, like, and I feel like a lot of people, maybe even someone who this might be their first video they're ever seeing, and they're like, yo, that guy's so cool, he's, like, built up this, he's built up that, but they don't see that overnight process, and it really just all starts with the first step.
Wait, but tying it back to the writer thing,
yes.
I feel like there was a point that, like, needs to be hit home. So you've written for so many publications, and I know what you mean. It's like, I've written for so many publications, but it still feels weird to call myself a writer.
Yeah.
But then you question yourself, and you're like, but why? I've written tons of articles. I literally am a writer.
Yeah.
Like, I literally am. So, is that what you've always wanted to do?
I don't know. Yes and no. It's one of those things, like, now I'm realizing that I really do love the behind the scenes of, like, video and, like, the behind the scenes of, like, just any moving images kind of thing. So I'm like, oh, do I want to be a producer? But I do just like writing about my story. I feel, you know, it's one of those things, everyone's like, everyone has a story, everyone has a memoir. And I'm like, okay, exactly. So why not tell yours? What's wrong with that? Mm-hmm. So I don't know, just overcoming all of these weird boundaries that we've put on ourselves. And I think also being a traveler, and you probably understand this too, like going to different places and realizing that in the States we are not as modest as a lot of people in other countries are.
Good point. Very good point.
and because of that, like, you know, traveling throughout college and then after college, now I'm like, holy fuck, let me be more modest and like have this humility. But I think also at the same time, when it comes to our careers and our professions, like, it's okay just to be like, I'm a bad bitch, I'm this, I'm that. It's okay to claim it.
I love that you say that, because I feel like the United States is a country that if we thrive on one thing, it's entertainment. It's like tech, entertainment, and sports. You know, it's like none of it's like intellect.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
Entertainment, part of being a successful entertainer is maybe lowering your modesty and humility and being like, look, I am the shits. And I feel like in the States that's very prominent. You know, like, we are like, if you want to be successful, you got to believe in yourself. You got to think that you're somebody different.
Yeah.
Even if you aren't.
Exactly.
So I get this. In the States, we are not as modest as other countries, but it's also because, our entertainment industry, it all comes from here.
Yeah. So it's, you know, and to even go off of that, like, it's kind of...
Why you live by the airport?
Right. Like, what?
Very fitting. Is that Spirit Airlines?
It is. I gotta go, guys. Mission aborted. Gotta go.
Speaking of being a writer, you're somebody who is very open about many things. Like, you've written how many times about this diarrhea story in Mexico? But I
was in Berlin.
Was it?
Like,
which time?
Right, there we go. Oh wait, man, I did get diarrhea in Mexico. You're not wrong. Not me trying to play you right now. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
The whole point, I love that so many people be like, oh, this isn't appropriate, this isn't formal, they're not gonna want this story. And then I think when you put on your like influencer hat or writer hat or whatever, like, you're gonna put some content out there hat, you realize, oh wait, all these other companies need content like this. Like, that was always the thing when I was traveling the world. I was like, okay, I need to travel, get these.
Ooh.
Okay, like,
that was a great question. Let's go back to it.
All right, let me drink to that.
Right. Oh, not that veggie burger coming up.
What was I even saying? Okay.
Yes.
Whatever. When you put on your content producer hat, it's like people need content. And airplanes to get around the world to get the content.
I guess so, damn.
In the entertainment industry, there are like two sides. You have the side where it's like, okay, I need to make, my personality is the product. And then you have the other side, which is like, okay, we need people whose product is personality. So you have these two sides, and like stories like yours where you're super open about what literally happened. I think it's really important because everybody else needs it. And that's, again, how I always framed my videos and started talking about my dating life, because I'm like, these are actually, people need this to do what they can do. So I'm down to do my part if you're down to do your part. So I hope that makes sense.
No, for sure. And I love that. And it's kind of wild because I feel like the culture has shifted so much in the last 5 to 10 years. I remember being in like middle school or high school, and like around the time, that's not when Facebook just came out, but like everyone was like, don't post this on Facebook, don't do that, don't do that, because you won't get this job or you won't get into that college or whatever it is. Now we have people out here shaking their asses on TikTok, and that is the job. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in the United States specifically, so much of our personality and so much of our, you know, character comes from what we do for work. When in reality, it's so stifling that, like, I can't act this way because, you know, some people think I can act this way on the weekend because on Monday I have to go to this office. When it's like, okay, baby, you're literally just working that job so you can survive, not because this job is your life. So, you know, I'm starting to realize more so, and we were chatting about this earlier, like, in reality, these companies truly need us more so than we need them. Just hear me out for a sec. Because I feel like it was, you know, in the 80s and 90s, everyone was like, okay, like, you know, I need to be so loyal to this company. I need to be so loyal to that because, you know, I need my life to go this way. With the pandemic, with the 2008 recession, with how many other recessions we had last decade, we realized that as workers, we are so disposable. And we don't want to admit it because, you know, it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing, it's a comfort thing, but we are so disposable.
Also, like, you invested money to go to school to get this job. Yeah, you don't want to admit that.
Exactly. Because, you know, if we get fired from a company or something happens with a company, we think it's our fault or that we're a failure. When in reality, that's just how capitalism works. Like, they're like, all right, out with the old, in with the new, let's underpay them. So I think, you know, moving forward, like any creatives or anyone watching this video right now, just realize that, yes, you know, you may need your job to pay your bills, but your job needs you as a worker, and especially if you're a creative, as a creative with these like unique ideas, way more than you need them. So don't let them play you, baby. Ooh, not me. Like
That was great. I love just gonna sit back and drink my wine.
like, oh,
That's damn. Exactly. Like, wait. Okay, because when you were working for Shut Up and Go, you had this alter ego named Susan. Is Susan still around?
wait. I'm wheezing.
Wait, can you explain who Susan was? Susan
Yes.
was on an airplane. She probably would have been a flight attendant.
Yes, basically.
She would have been a flight attendant.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna grab my water. It is a plastic water bottle. I'm sorry. Please do not throw me into the river and drown me. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna take a quick sip. Because you know how your subscribers be.
Mine are actually, I think they're more like us. They would be like, all right, sometimes it's just gonna be a plastic water bottle.
Right.
Like,
We were... Thank you. We were out all day. I'm so sorry. Please forgive us.
sometimes you, like, life happens.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't...
Like chaos.
All right. Susan also worked for Shut Up and Go, and Susan was Nasir's alter ego.
Oh my god, I forgot about her.
Susan was like the all-star worker. Susan was at work and only at work.
Basically. So Susan was a middle-aged, suburban, maybe like Midwestern woman.
Yes.
And she... I don't know. She just like...
Dedicated.
Yeah, she had like her 20 years of like receptionist experience. Like, you know, even though computers came later in the game in her career, she still skilled it. She, you know, she would make sure you never missed a meeting on your calendar. She was great. Anything at all. Your half birthday, right? Half birthday, yes. She wouldn't forget it. So Susan is me and I'm Susan.
Yes, if we ever needed somebody to like make sure that they got this email response back, whatever, Susan was the one to call. Susan was there for whatever you needed like to happen for administration.
Yes, there we go. That's the word, administration. I'm trying to explain this shit. It's literally administrative.
Susan is administration. Get the inbox to 0, make that phone call. It's Susan.
Yes, Susan.
I feel like we all need an alter ego.
We do.
We all need like that side to just be like, all right, let me get to work. Let me finish what I have to do so I can get back to my real ego.
For sure. No, it's so true. And like, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things like... I'm personally gonna drive to the airport and beat all their asses right now. Wait, I don't drive. I'm done.
Take that Uber helicopter. Nasir said there's an Uber
down.
helicopter here in New York.
There is. I haven't been, but the TikTok girls have been, and I'm jealous of them.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
This is an area where we really differ.
Okay. Is it because you're a Libra and I'm a Virgo, or... Uh-oh, I'm scared.
We really, really, really differ. No, there's nothing to be... Actually, there is something to be afraid of. In fact, I'm very afraid of this. You love horror films.
I do.
Like, I was scrolling on your Instagram, and you had something like, looking for my mans or something. He needs to, like horror movies or something like this.
Yes.
You know which... yeah, you wrote some caption.
I put a little application, so
Application.
if anyone wants to check that out, y'all want to apply, taking applications, let's go.
Mine would say, like, dislikes horror films. So what is it about horror films that you like?
Okay, that's a good point.
that you can like get closer to them?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good question. But okay, so my background story with horror films is actually kind of messed up, twisted a little bit if you think about it. My friend and I, when we were about 8 or 9, would have sleepovers, and when his mom would go to bed, we would go onto, what was that back in the day? Pay-per-view.
Goosebumps? Oh, what?
Was it pay-per-view, like where you would go on the TV and like buy movies?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was like that, or like whatever was there before Showtime was there. And we would always, my first horror movie ever was Halloween, Michael Myers, not Halloween Town for the Disney kids out here. So we would literally watch Halloween and watch Michael Myers just slashing people at the age of 7 or 8. And, you know, obviously at the time it was traumatizing, but growing up, I have a deep appreciation for it because horror films remind me of my childhood.
But, oh my God. But like, what does it do for you? Like for me, it's deeply disturbing.
Okay.
Can you like completely isolate yourself from like, that's a thing that I'm just watching. Like if you go to the bathroom at night, are you not thinking like, oh my God, somebody's gonna close this door behind, or like come slash me in the shower, like
that's a good point.
break into my house late at night.
True, but that's the excitement of life. Imagine living a boring life. Like, bam, like I want something to happen.
Oh
like,
my God.
Like I want something startling. You know, as long as I don't die, like bring the drama.
Oh my God.
I will say though that I'm just starting to learn about astrology, so I know that I'm a Virgo sun and a Scorpio moon, and everyone says Scorpio moons, or Scorpios in general, are into more darker things, like the occult. Which makes sense because my favorite show was Charmed growing up. But why don't you like horror films?
I don't like horror films because I find that they're deeply disturbing, and I don't know why not even horror films, almost like, I feel like what always succeeds in movies or on Netflix is always bloodshed, violence, like criminal dramas, and I always like, again, I like the philosophy angle. I'm always like, why would we like that? Why are we drawn to that kind of drama?
Ooh.
That's so disturbing. Like, is it because we don't have it in our life that we like feel like we need it somehow, but we can like distance ourselves from that? Or like, I don't know what it is, but the things that always do the best are super juicy reality shows. All the gore in horror films, and I'm just like, what?
Not Criminal Minds. What's that other one where Forensic Files?
Forensic Files.
That was my favorite. I'm like, he did what? To whom? To whom? Like, come on.
I don't know. I've never been into it. Again, if it's like you're with a cutie McZooty and you're like on the couch, of course,
cuddling,
then it's fun. But like hell no, I would never do it by myself.
Okay, yep. True. And I will say, only because it's legal in New York, if you smoke weed and watch a horror movie, that's the scariest.
Is that the best? Oh.
No, it's scary as hell, Damon.
Why? I thought it would calm you down.
No, it intensifies it.
Oh, shit, okay.
Because it's funny because you're like, oh my God, he's about to kill her in the film, and then you hear your door like rattling, and then you realize it's the wind. It's too much.
That's why I can't be doing that. So, speaking of horror,
trying not to burp again.
Oh my God, burp. Ew, no.
It was a baby burp. Stop. It was a baby burp.
Can I say, actually, I feel like I used to be somebody who would burp, even like fart, like publicly around my friends, and like it was something that was funny.
Go off.
What? Go off. Like let it out. And then again, not to bring up my ex.
You were
not gonna say his name.
You were doing so well. You had like 2 videos out talking about him.
I know it's been like a record. People getting bored.
Yeah, people were sending you like personal cards, like, I'm glad you got over your ex. No, but here we go. Go off.
He actually, when we were dating, he was like, but that's kind of gross. Like, why do you burp? Because I was like, it's so funny. And he was like, this is gross. Why do you do this? And actually, I was like, okay, fine, like, whatever, I'll stop doing it. I actually had another friend who was on Red Wine Talks, actually. Like, you can guess who. And she also mentioned that a lot of the popular YouTubers, like, burp in their videos, and she found it gross.
Oh.
And I was like, that's so interesting, because it was, like, maybe a European thing, like, more classy to not ever burp. And then the States were like, you burp. I don't know, it was interesting. Speaking of horror films, Nasir.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about death. Actually, no, you want to talk about death.
Yes. I don't know. It was one of those things, like, you know, of course, especially last year, even this year with the pandemic, so many people, you know, have lost physical, actual human beings that they've cared about, but also have lost, like, their jobs or parts of them or X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be. So I feel like at the moment, as a society, like, we're all mourning and grieving. Like, it's the first time in my adult life where I think that, like, everyone's collectively grieving and mourning, which is just so wild to me. And actually, I think you knew, but, like, right before the pandemic started, I actually, right before the pandemic started, even before, you know, people were unfortunately passing away from COVID, I actually lost one of my cousins because he had a fentanyl overdose, which is, I don't know, if you're not in the States, you might have not heard about it, but fentanyl is like a huge, like, drug that is unfortunately killing not dozens, but hundreds and thousands of people, and it's basically an epidemic. It was, like, really bizarre to lose someone to, like, a drug overdose, and then literally just a few months later, like, hey, we're in a global pandemic, people are dying left and right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I don't feel like I've actually still properly processed that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was actually, like, my second cousin who died to an overdose in 5 years, so that, you know, it was a lot.
Were you close to that cousin?
Yeah, so basically, like, in my house growing up, like, I grew up with my cousins, so basically, like, they were, like, my brothers and my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, my eldest cousin, she passed away in 2015, also from an overdose. And my second to youngest cousin passed away in 2019, around December, right? Almost, you know, a few months before the pandemic, to a fatal overdose. So it's just kind of wild that I had those experiences happen in such, like, a short period of time, and then after that, we just went into this collective global, like, shift of mourning and grieving. And I don't know if I've, like, actually processed my own situation.
I don't even know how anybody ever could.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you ever actually can fully process, like, grief.
Yeah.
Somebody that you feel close to actually passing away. I don't know if you could ever actually get over that. You know, somebody that you have memories with, and then, like, all of a sudden they're not there. Like, that's some tough shit. And I think that's also something else to mention, that, like, you walking down the street, you're, like, having fun and you're laughing and everything's fine, and then you never fully know what's going on in somebody's head, like the full everything, you know. Like, of course, you probably spend 90% of your day, you're in a happy mood.
Yeah.
There's that 10% where you're back home, you're like, shit, this ain't cool. Like, why did this happen? And I don't know, it's maybe something to mention that you never know what somebody's going through.
Exactly.
Ever.
Yeah. No, it's so
Shit.
true.
So, damn.
Yeah. And, you know, it's kind of crazy that I'm so casual about it, but it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, you know, everyone...
There should be a tally of how many airplanes go by. I didn't realize you're not even near the airport, honestly.
I'm literally not.
Not near the airport.
You know, but, like, what's wild about it is, like, I'm very casual now, obviously, because it's a few years later, but I think that everyone deals with emotions differently, and I guess, like, my biggest takeaway is throughout your life, you'll have probably someone tell you, like, why aren't you acting like this, or why are you responding like that, or why aren't you responding like that? And there's no right or wrong way to respond to an emotion. It's one of those things that, you know, during your journey, you'll realize how you react, and sometimes you might react differently, and that is okay. So, I don't know, I just felt, you know, after both of my cousins passed away, for quite a while, I felt kind of numb, and for me, I was like, why am I not sad? And then the sadness randomly hit, like, 6 months later. So, for whoever, you know, hopefully no one lost anyone from COVID or any other reasons recently, but if you did, you know, my condolences, and take your time and don't let anyone tell you how to feel.
Like, absolutely. Yeah, everyone's gonna process that differently.
Yeah.
This, again, I keep talking about this in every video, but I'm taking this philosophy/psychology class right now online, and there was a whole chapter about death. And they say that a lot of people can't process grief of, like, somebody that they're close to passing away, and what the therapist always tells the person dealing with grief is, okay, but in a way, there is some meaning to your suffering because you spared them the fact that they don't have to suffer from your grief.
Interesting. Okay.
I know. I was like,
no.
Wait, hold on.
I'm like, wait
a
mental
second.
gymnastics, but
mental
yeah.
gymnastics, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a way, like if you have somebody really close to you who passes away early, or maybe they were expected to pass away soon, in a way, you're suffering. Somebody's gonna suffer.
Yeah.
So in a way, your suffering is actually like, well, and maybe you should reframe it in your mind, like they don't have to suffer from you passing away now because somebody has to go.
Yeah.
In a certain order. Of course, it's unfortunate that people have to go early in due to certain ways, but in a way, there is some meaning in suffering.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is so wild. And, you know, it's another crazy thing is like, as you get older, like just all of these things that we're experiencing, you're just like, wow, now I understand why when I was a child, like my family member might have acted like this or acted like that. And now we're acting the same way because y'all, like, life is amazing and it has its beautiful moments, but like, damn, like, if you don't catch yourself, like, you can easily become jaded because shit is tough out here. Like,
yeah, there are times, again, my brothers have like, I think they have 5 kids each, and sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, am I, in their minds right now, am I the uncle that like I once had?
Exactly.
Which was like, am I now that uncle that like was, when I was 9 years old, like I had an uncle as well, like is that what I am to them?
Literally just a moment ago I was saying, as we get older and as we realize our decay, but obviously we're always all, decaying, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal.
But one of the things I've learned in like the last year, last 6 months or so is, obviously like I'm a very social person. I feel like I'm very sweet. I'm very empathetic, which, many people would see as like a pro, but sometimes that can also be a con in the sense of like, when you're an empathetic person, you kind of go out of your way to make sure that you please a lot of people without particularly pleasing yourself. And I don't know, as I'm getting older, I'm kind of just realizing maybe, honestly, I feel like you've always been like this, but it's like, for me, at least recently, I've been like, hey, like, I don't need to be liked by everyone. And I feel like you're a great person to chat about this with because you're kind of like, well, I'm literally just me. Like, if you don't fuck with it, like, ooh. Can we curse on this?
Yes, of course. I told you I'm so over all these rules. I want this to be the place, even if it doesn't get monetized, like the one place we can all speak freely. Like, is that so much to ask for? Okay. God damn. Like, fuck.
Okay, good. So it's like, yay. Like, if you don't, it's okay to not have everyone like you.
Yeah.
And it took me the longest time to realize that. How was your journey? Was it similar?
I came up with an analogy in the past year. We are all, okay, no matter what you do in life, people are going to talk about you, regardless. I mean, people just do. Friends are like, oh, so what's Nasir up to? What's Damon's up? What is Damon up to? And then they insert their opinion about like what they think based on what their experience has been in their life. People are talking about you regardless. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. It's probably both. They're just evaluating your presence on Earth.
Yeah.
I was listening to some like Nicki Minaj song probably. I had my AirPods in. I was returning my city bike and I was like jamming out. I can't think of any Nicki lyric. What's a Nicki lyric? I don't know. I fly with the stars in the sky, whatever.
There you go.
I was returning my bike with my Nicki Minaj in my ears. And I returned the bike and I realized, oh, there are 2 people here and they were talking about me. It doesn't matter what they're saying about me as long as I am enjoying the music in my ears right now. Like, it doesn't... People are talking about you, period.
Yes.
I don't know if what they were saying was good or if it was bad. I don't know. In any case, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whether somebody's complimenting you, whether somebody's saying something negative about you, that shouldn't affect how you feel about yourself. And again, even if somebody's saying something compliment, you shouldn't be looking for that because... you're just going to always depend on what other people think of you. So,
exactly.
I don't know. So that's how I've always just kind of thought about it. Like, people are going to people gonna be talking.
Very
And
true.
what really matters at the end of the day is how you are living through your own reality.
No,
Not through other people's reality of you. You're not the object of other people's reality. You are your own reality.
Let them know. Let them know. No, it's so true, though. And, I appreciate that you say that, because it's like one of those things where it's... Growing up, I think oftentimes we're like, you need to be so likable, you need to be so polite, you need to be so this, you need to be so that. But once you're an adult, like, and we're technically still young adults. Like,
I'm young until I'm probably like 50. That's my thing.
okay,
I'm young till I'm 50.
thank you, basically. But like, at whatever age, you kind of realize that not every single person is going to be compatible. And I feel like oftentimes when you're super empathetic, you feel bad about this. Like, what could I do better? What can I change? How can I be different so this person can like me? When in reality, just sometimes people aren't compatible, and that is okay. So whether it's, that people are going to say what they want to say about you, or whether it's, hey, me and this person just don't vibe on that level, don't force it. Whatever it is, just like, be true to you. Obviously, this is not excusing like our own toxic behavior that oftentimes we don't think about. But like, as long as you can recognize like, hey, these are my qualities, like what, for better or for worse. And if someone doesn't like it, that is what it is. Like, I just think it's so important to not get sucked into trying to be liked by everyone.
No.
So,
And also, I think it's important. It's important to realize, in the same way that you're not going to be liked by everybody, they're also not going to be liked by everybody. So why are you living from what everybody thinks of you when you don't actually like everybody either?
exactly.
You literally don't like everybody either.
Exactly.
So why do you care? Not everybody's going to like you. The people who do like you will flock to you, and then it'll be fine.
In our minds, and I get it, like, especially recently on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, you understand being the main character. In our minds, we are the main character, which is lovely. Like, if being the main character brings you confidence, if it makes you happy, if it makes you feel better about yourself, go off. But at the same time, I think, being from the United States, we naturally have a very individualistic culture. And we need to realize that it's not all about us. So I feel like a lot of times with our interpersonal relationships, we tend to think like, oh, me. When in reality, it's like, how do we all connect? How do we all make this social fabric?
Like it's like the main character versus the ensemble cast.
Yes, and usually, honestly, the ensemble's more interesting.
Can we
than
talk
the
about
character.
Friends? Okay, so let's talk about Friends.
Can we talk about Charmed?
Charmed and Friends.
No,
Those
kidding.
shows do the best.
It's true.
I've always wanted an ensemble cast.
It's true. So, like, obviously, whatever you're feeling, however you're feeling is so important. You are the main character, but we also have to ground ourselves and realize that everyone else has their own feelings and their own emotions, and it's not always in relation to us, and that is okay.
Chase your tail. Chase your tail. Chase your tail.
Okay, the last topic of conversation, being gay. What do you have to say? I feel like, again, I feel like people know my opinions about everything. My general opinion is it's not something I wake up thinking that, like, oh, I'm a gay man. Do you wake up thinking that?
There are other words that I like more, but I will not say them on your YouTube channel because I know your audience will.
What? Again, my audience, the people I've met on the street at least, they're just like you and me. They're like, what's up?
I will say...
What word did you say?
No, I will say that... Not particularly that I love this word, but with my friends I will joke around. My other queer friends. What? I'm just gonna say it.
Okay, go.
I do think, there's such...
Just say it.
Listen. There's power in reclaiming. So instead of the actual F word...
I already know which word you're saying, yes.
Instead of the F word, I do like the word faggy.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
She's cute, right? And, it's one of those things where it's like, instead of being a Pfizer poppy, I'm a Pfizer faggy.
Ooh, okay.
Stay mad, get mad, do what you want, but that's me. Do you?
I see, again, in England, in the UK, the fags are cigarettes. Like, that's... So, I don't know, it's just like something to me... The word faggot as a slur has never I don't know. I just like that doesn't do it for me. But I think it's because I'm into linguistics. Like, it's more the meaning of like. It's not necessarily the word. It's just like I know that you're trying to insult me via this slur.
Yeah.
But I'm into linguistics, so I know like it's not actually the word that would ever hurt me. It's more like you as a human being, just like me, are trying to put me down as a human being. It feels very bizarre.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily the word, but I do think reclaiming every word is important.
Yeah, for sure.
Boom.
No, and it's so true. I love that you say that because it's like, if we give people the power to make us feel a certain way, then they'll continue to do that. But once you sort of course, like, that's the whole point of reclaiming, but like once you do it yourself and you're like, yeah, that really doesn't hurt my feelings, then people are like, wait, what? And then they feel dumbfounded, and then they're like, oh, okay. So I don't know, I just feel like whether it's something racial or whether it's something sexuality based or whatever it may be, you know, even if at the end of the day it might sting you, sort of just put that face on and be like, okay, and then I swear to you, they'll be more shook than ever, and like they'll probably never say it to you again. Hopefully they'll never say it to you again because they'll know you'll fight them.
Yeah.
But hopefully they never say it to other people because you were so unfazed by it, and it kind of shocked them and shocked their reality.
I think that's a great point, actually, because I think it only puts fuel to the fire if you react in a way that's like, oh my god, I'm so hurt. Then they'll be like, oh, God, I can do it again.
Yeah.
What was have you seen the speech that Dominique, I forget her last name, Dominique
Yes.
from Pose?
Yes.
And she's like, you don't get to decide if I am accepted or not. I just am, and you need to respect me just like I respect you.
It is not about us saying to someone else that I accept you or I tolerate you. You do not have the power to accept or tolerate me. I take that from you. You will respect me.
Like there's literally no question. What are you talking about here?
Love that. No, and it's so true.
Iconic speech.
It's great that you brought that up. But no, it's so true, and I think, you know, I'm very happy that in the last few years these sort of shifted in the sense of like literally just not giving people power over us. And you know, going back to our earlier points, like corporations, like, okay, you need me more than I need you, baby. Whether it is these weird sexuality or race-based relations, like, we have our own power, and like I don't want people who come from a minority group to think that like, oh, I don't have any power because I'm from this group, because that's not the truth. If anything, we hold a lot more power. So yeah, fuck that.
Damn. Okay, let me fill this up.
You're really trying to get me drunk. I'm about to be out here acting a fool on the tube.
You too.
Red tube. Oh no.
Fucking red tube.
I'm done.
This has been another Red Wine Talks with Damon, Dominique, and Nasir Fleming.
Hello.
Hello. Like,
who is she?
if you want to follow me or Nasir, please go in the description box below. You will see all the links, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be back here with another Red Wine Talk eventually. Please leave your comments below if you have any comments on anything we've talked about in this video. I feel like we covered a lot. Some of it might have been covered by airplanes.
Yeah.
Music in the background.
Yep. Accompanied by burps.
Burps. Who knows? But I will see you next time. We will see you on Instagram. Whatever. All right, you know what the deal is. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you for coming
this
to New York.
friendship, employee, whatever. Blah, blah.
Thank you for coming to New York, because New York has missed you, and I know you don't want to admit it, but you miss New York, and you're here now, and we're happy for it.
I keep extending my trip, you guys.
Yes, stay longer.
We'll see. All right, thank you for being on the room.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Also, if you ever need a refill and I'm not refilling your cup, take it. Oh, we got it. I have the...
Oh, Wait.
What? Huh?
Wait.
What?
How did we already finish this bottle?
I don't know.
How?
This is, I told you, season 3, baby. We need 2 bottles minimum.
Wait. Literally, I feel like we've only been talking for 5 minutes and
I
the
know.
bottle's gone.
Yeah, this is what happens. And then Chloe's there like, is this ever gonna end? Isn't it fun? Like, this is fun. Into that.
Not me coughing. It's not the coronavirus. I got I got my 2 shots, baby. All of you guys should get your shots too if you have access to them in your countries. So please get them. Like,
Dead. With interesting conversation.
yes.
And red wine. I know. I see that cup. All right. Okay. Hold on. I gotta do this off camera because I get nervous.
Oh, for sponsorship stuff?
Oh, what?
Wait, what? Oh.
No, just because I don't know how to do it.
For sponsor.
No, I think I've been doing this. This is like 15th episode at this point.
Wait, I was like, what?
No, just because sometimes I do it a little funky.
It's grape juice talks.
This is the thing. Don't do it in France. Do it here though.
That's the thing though, like when I'm in France.
Gotta burp though. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
I'm like, baby, if you're giving me pain au chocolat and like all of these other things, you know, if you're giving me this thick ass cheese,
You ain't
and
giving me
you're-
more wine?
more wine, like, come on, baby burp.
I mean, yeah. Babies are doing it nonstop, so that should mean like it's natural for us humans.
Yes,
10% won't like you.
exactly.
So, that's like a good enough. If you got the burp, you can burp.
No. No. But I love that you say that.